Good morning and welcome back to day 8 in the new house. It's just past midday on a weekend, so it might end up being a longer vlog this one, as hopefully we'll get more done. But yeah, it's been a bit of a mixed start to the day. First of all, we have some wildlife in the garden. Theo. Hello, puppy. Yeah, so my sister's just dropped over just to come give us a hand with a few bits along the way, so grateful to have more people inside the house, which is good. On the less positive note, we left yesterday's vlog off with this E1 error on the fridge. I've tried switching it on and off a few times. It just doesn't seem to want to clear. So I was like, right, okay, we'll get in contact with Currys. Awful, truly awful to get through their systems. Went online with the help chat from there. They're like, oh no, after ages of waiting for us through to somebody, they were like, you need to ring this helpline. I rang the helpline, and without a word of a lie, it took me 8 or 9 minutes to get through all the options, and I probably answered the question of, what appliance are you having an issue with, about 5 times through the automated script. And when I eventually got through to somebody, they just hung up on me. So I had to do it all over again. The lady did help me out in the end. I can't lie, she wasn't too enthusiastic, but it was basically given 2 options. Either you can get a repair on it and they'll give you 10% back on your order effectively, or you could just have a brand new appliance come and fitted. So I've gone for the repair option because looking online, like there's very little in the way of what an E1 error is, but I did see one of the logic freezer which somebody was saying they had an issue with, and it was just to do with the temperature sensor. So I'm hoping it's going to be a relatively easy fix. So I've got some people booked in for Wednesday now to come around and have a look and hopefully get that fixed and upgraded and back up to date. If not, then it's going to have to go back and we're going to have to get a new one, which is going to be fun because we have to go through automated calls again. So fun and games. So challenging start to the day. But yeah, hopefully we'll put that to one side now. I mean, it's not like it's not working. The freezer section is working. The fridge section seems to be cooler. I don't know whether it's the right temperature, but it's cooler. So at least we've got ability to drink some cooler Monster and hopefully at least get some milk in the house for breakfast and that kind of stuff. But yeah, my sister's cracking on cleaning a load of the window frames and windows upstairs because there's about 19,000 years worth of grime in all of those, so she's come to have a good clean of that. Been attacking the wallpaper again already, so we may have a go at that later because I think she's itching to give us a hand doing that, given I ripped all the wallpaper off her house. So yeah, I'm sure we'll do a bit of a demolition job later. But first task for today, I think, is let's carry on with the washing machine, get that in and get a wash on, and then we can work out the next plan of action. So I'll catch up with you a little bit later when the washing machine is being progressed. In fact, actually, while we're here, let's hang on. Let's at least take one piece of this. Oh yeah, that's good. Oh, that's nice. Oh yeah. Oh, things you love to see. Satisfying. Oh, look at the gloss on it as well. There we go. Right, that's as much as you're getting. Let's get this bad boy installed. First step is to get 1, 2, 3, 4 transport bolts off this unit. So let's get a ratchet on that and get them down. Lefty loosey, off she comes. Now we want to make sure we're also keeping hold of these transport bolts. Hello, you come to help? Hey? You be foreman. Yeah, we want to keep hold of these transport bolts just so if we ever need to move the unit again, we're dropping back in and it just helps keep the drum nice and secure. Away we go. So out she comes, and then should just pull out. I don't know, do we take the whole bung thing out as well, or do we? I think we do, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there it is. That's what we wanted. Lovely stuff. Cool. So I'm pretty sure that is correct. So let's get all of these off now. Now, before I get on with trying to level the feet, what I think we probably need to have a go at doing is checking whether this waste disposal pipe is actually long enough. So the waste disposal comes from the right hand side of the unit, which is going to be against that wall, and only gives you about that much overrun. which isn't a vast amount, but the waste spigot is kind of on that side of the sink. So it may, if we're lucky, be long enough. If it's not, then we're going to have to go get a bit of an extension piece and go do some shopping. But let's give it a shove in and see if it lines up. Right, so we've got it pushed about a third of the way back, and we've managed to feed the waste through. And to be honest, we're basically nearly there already. So I'm not going to push it back any further. I'm pretty confident we may not need the extension on it. So let's get it out. Let's level up the feet. Let's get the main water attached, and then we should be good to go. Obviously, one of the things I've requested from the electrician is to actually get a socket put in down under there as well, so I can plug this in at the back. Because at the moment, to get this powered, I'm going to have to run the cable up around the side and up to here to be able to power it. And should be enough length in that to be able to do it. But yeah, obviously it's not ideal having cabinets or cables coming out from underneath the cabinet, so at least that'll get tucked away when we get the house rewired. So there we go. Feet have been adjusted. The bubble says it's level. Well, it's close enough. So there's a little dot one that does it in like 4 dimensions. We're in the marks there, which is good. And on the bigger level, we're looking good in both directions. Now, that has been done on this part of the floor out at the moment. So what I'll do is, as we push it back, I'll continue to check it's level, but hopefully the floor's relatively level. I guarantee you the floor isn't level, but we'll find that out as we get on with it. So as you saw earlier, I got it level on the bit of floor that's out here, but the floor under the counter is, well, let me just show you. Not level in the slightest. I haven't adjusted those feet at all. The problem I've got is that in order to check its level, I need to put a spirit level on top of the washing machine, and if I do that, I can't see it. So, yeah, bit of a catch-22. Need to make it level, can't check if it's level. Can't really take the countertop off easily to be able to do that. So, I think what I'm probably going to have to do, take it back out again, have a look at what's not level on the floor, do some bubble level measurement type jobby, and then try and make it that sort of unlevel before I put it in there, and then see if we can get it fixed. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a challenge, this one. And let me present you with the issue. So if we look at this edge on the wall here and we look at the bubble, you can see it's slightly lower on this end, so we actually need to raise this back corner up a bit. But we've got the added challenge in that this tile here, actually, it's hard to show, but it actually drops away a bit, and that's where the foot sits on. So I may need to do something funky there. This third set of tiles over here, exactly the same issue, even more pronounced, of the back end needs to be raised up. So what I propose is we raise this back right hand corner up a fair substantial amount. We raised that back corner up less, but what I'm also going to do is on the front feet, which are a little bit more accessible, I'm going to raise those in such a way that I've got at least a little bit of wiggle room to move things around with. So we're gonna have a go at that, see if we can get it to a better level of level, and see how we get on. But anyway, yeah, this is gonna be a long old slog, so I'll probably update you when it's done. Otherwise, you're gonna spend the rest of the next 25 minutes of your life staring at bubbles. Which if that's your game, then fair enough, but I don't think it's that exciting. So I'll catch up with you when it's done. So she's in. That's only taken about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get sorted. Stable. Don't know if it's 100% level, but it's the best I'm going to be able to do where it currently is. There's probably potential for it to go a little bit further back if I wanted to, but given it's have to come out again when the electrician comes to put the extra socket in, then I don't see the point in doing so. So we've got it in. We've got the waste connected. It reaches pretty nicely and we're on secure. We've got water connected. Let's make sure we turn that on now and check if there's going to be any leaks. Right, okay, so we've got a small amount of seepage from that top joint there. So what we may potentially need to do is drop it onto that one, otherwise we're going to be leaking all the time. Is that continuing to weep? Yeah, that's continuing to weep. Okay, right, we're going to have to swap that over and then we can give it its maiden run. But more problems to deal with. Right, well we've moved her onto that one. That was a little bit seized, but I managed to use the ring spanner just to crack it open. Doesn't appear to be leaking, which is good, but not happy with how this pipe's sitting, so future state we're probably going to have to cut a little bit more of that back panel out just to make life a little bit easier for ourselves, so we'll get that done. But yeah, let's try and go for the maiden run and the switch on. So what it recommends doing is doing a Cotton Plus 90 600 RPM with no load and a small amount of detergent. So let's flick her on. Hopefully we're there. Let's hit the power button. All being well. There we go. On she goes. So that's on Eco 4060. We want to twiddle the dial. There we go. So we're on cotton. We're on 600 RPM, 90 degrees. We're going to drop a little bit of detergent in here. In she goes. I think it's that one. So, how much is a little? I don't know. About that much, let's say. There we go. That'll do. That's on there. Shut that down. Let's just double check and make sure the drawer is empty. There's no paperwork or anything else left in there. And then shut it down. Apparently there's 2 hours that's got to run for. So that's going to be interesting. But let's go. Okay, that's quite cool. So I thought it was going to be a 2 hour, 1 minute jobby, but this has apparently got some smart tech in which senses the weight of what's in there. Because there's nothing in there, it's now dropped the time to 1 hour and 26, so that's good. So far we have water in. Let's just check under here. We have no apparent signs of leakage so far, but yeah, we'll keep an eye and let it run. Right, it's later in the day and wow, look how clean the kitchen is. A big shout out to my sister. She's absolutely scrubbed everything down in here and dealt with all the mess and carnage from when we've been making the cabinet. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have a go at this leg a little bit later. Callum and I, who's here with me at the moment. So we're probably going to make a little bit of a mess again. But the washing machine is in. It did throw an E4 error and it turns out there was like a switch down here which does something with the water pressure. I don't know exactly what it was, but basically it wasn't getting enough water through. Switched that on, gushing out of everywhere. It was great. And then we ended up being able to do that. So we're going to get the inaugural wash on. As I said, we're loading up the Tetri now. We've now unlocked being able to clean our own clothes, which is great. So the smoky shorts I've been wearing since I was burning that bush in the garden can go in the wash now. So that's great. Also been shopping. Been down to Screwfix to get, the essentials. Things to get things moving. Things to stop things moving. Zip ties to really stop things moving, and some gloves. I've also picked up some extra thick bags and a mask and a bodysuit as well, because I'll show you on one of the days, probably won't be today, but I need to go up in the loft and start moving and lifting a lot of the insulation. One for the electricians and the plumbers when they come, two to see if there's any structural walls or anything else like that, and three, it kind of just needs replacing anyway, so I just wanted to make sure we were kitted and ready to go. But yeah, I think Callum and I are going to start making a start on the cupboard here. There you go. Safety first. Safety first, look at that, specs are on, good guy. There'll be a clip of him playing with the dog in a minute as well, because Theo was having the best time of his life playing with Callum. But yeah, we're going to start cracking on that and start messing up the kitchen that's just been cleaned. the one bit of the garden with sunshine. Bask in it. It's great. Right, so we're making a start on this cabinet section. I did try and time lapse the sort of measurement for it, but it may not have hit record, so hey ho, it happens. But anyway, what we've done is we've marked out the edge here with a bit of a gap to make room for the 10mm worth of tiles, so that should drop down into the tile gap next to the fridge. So we're going to zip along here, chop into this section, chop that bit out there, and then hopefully we end up with a fairly snug fitting side panel that we can slot underneath there. So we've measured twice, we're going to cut once, and hopefully it doesn't go cock up. What I did note is from when we chopped it in the car park with this guy here, so thank you for helping, that circular saw edge has actually fractured quite a bit. So I made you do a quick zip on the edge here just to check and try and use the reciprocating saw? What's the word I'm looking for? Jigsaw, that's the word I'm looking for. Use the jigsaw and just see if it protects the edges a little bit more. Moment of truth. Let's see. Ow, I've already dinked the fridge. Let's see if the measurements are any good. I think I need to come the other way. Go back. Make sure that side of the nail should. Yeah. Not good at all.
Well, you fucked
Needs some work. So not a good first cut. Good thing I've got spare material. We'll figure out why I've cocked up and get that fixed.
Shim it.
Shim it, mate. Shim it. Cool. Should have measured again. Well, we'll figure that one out and get it recut, but at least we've got the premise of what we're trying to do down now, and it looks decent sitting there, so that's good. You've just seen the failure of the fit, and taken a bit of a learning opportunity as to why I cocked up here. So what I did was I measured from the front tiles and went, oh yeah, that's about 864, 865 at the front. So we cut to 864, 65. We then measured at the back edge and I went, ah yes, that is, if I get that angled up right, about 866, 867. So we cut to that height at the back. What I then decided to do was measure the depth of the slabs, or like down from the slab to the concrete floor, which was 10mm, and then cut a 10mm chunk out of this edge to get it to the right height, forgetting that I just measured that at 864 anyway. So what I did was cut it to 864 on the edge and then take 10 off it, which then led to that gap in the piece of wood. So yeah, I didn't measure that correctly in the slightest. My logic for doing it was not correct, but we have learned a thing. I think I can reuse that board for the cupboard I'm planning to build around the boiler up there. So yeah, let's get a fresh piece of board and let's recut that, but measure it again and do it correctly this time. Take 2 on the cut. Let's not cock it up this time.
Good catch. There we go.
Let's try fitment number 2. So we're going to go at an angle. That already is feeling a lot more snug on that back edge. So I think that's better than before, at least. We're on that nail as well. So I think we're a little bit high on the back edge, which was expected because there's like a lip of cement. But at least that is looking like it's going to fit a little bit better. So let's knock a bit of this back edge off, just try and flatten things down a little bit. And yeah, hopefully that will fit much better this time. But the good news is we're too big rather than too small. As a slight side note as well, we've got blackberries in this hedge here, and because I was a little bit peckish, we picked some of them. They're actually pretty decent, they're not too sour, so this is my healthy snack for for this afternoon. After much fettling, she's in. Don't think it's looked too bad, to be honest. I did take a slight nick out the laminate there, but we've got a pretty solid seal all the way down. Once that side's on, there's a bit of a lip there because of the laminate. We've got a decent seal along the floor there as well. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. The only slight annoyance is that the cabinet does stick slightly out on that edge, but we'll deal with that. I have actually got, I don't know whether I've got it to hand anywhere close. Ah, yeah, there it is. Perfect. I've got like this iron-on laminate stuff there, so potentially we could put a little bit of a tickle on the corner there, just to spruce it up. But otherwise, I'm pretty pleased with it. It's looking pretty good. So there's like an under cabinet there. Obviously, we've still got to move the drawers, as we've spoken about a billion times. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. And I think what we can do now is just run a strip of battening underneath there, fix it all up, fix it down the back wall, and I mean, it's already pretty solid that it is because I've done it as quite a snug fit. But that's looking really good. So good stuff. Well, we didn't end up doing too much more. I did cut a couple of strips of battening just before going out and getting some food. But we didn't go too much further with actually fitting that cabinet in. What I was deliberating is where that lip actually sticks out, is it worth trying to shave some of the back edge off and actually just mount it a little bit further back just so it's out of sight. So I'm probably going to sit and dwell over that one tonight. What I have done, however, is I've just been online looking for quotes for an asbestos survey. So when I had the level 2 home survey done on this property, there was the flag that some of the Artex ceilings and round by the fireplace there could potentially contain asbestos. Now, given I'm planning to get rid of the fireplace, and given that we're going to be tampering with the wall between the toilet, which is where it may or may not be, and having spotlights put in the ceiling, I've kind of got to get it looked at. So I've just been online, requested a few quotes from some local people, just to try and get the ball moving on that one. Tomorrow then, we won't be doing too much on the house. We might do a few bits in the morning, but I'm actually going to a friend's wedding-ish. So they actually got married out in India, but in the UK they're now doing big ceremony, entertainment piece for family, friends, work colleagues, stuff like that. So it's one of the lads I work with. So going to go with some mates over there. May record a few clips while I'm there, but nothing too major. But should be a good evening. So really looking forward to that. But overall, again, continuous little bits of work. It's been a bit slow today. I got the washing machine in. That took longer than planned because of the unevenness of the floor. The cock-up with the wooden beam was a learning point. So we learned something at least as well. Should have checked my measurements in the right way. I did double check my measurements, but I was double checking the wrong measurements. But you've got to take these learning opportunities. If you just look at every failure as sort of something's gone wrong and look at it in a negative way, you're never going to learn anything. So we went straight back at it. We got the problem fixed. As you can see now, we've got that new piece in there and it looks so much better already. So the only other thing is I may actually, depending on how much room I lose by having that there, I may actually end up not putting it in altogether is the other thing I'm considering, because I may not have room to fit the bin in. I'd like to put the bin in that gap if possible. I may not be able to get a narrow enough bin. So I think there's a bit more research I need to go ahead just before I get ahead with mounting that, but we'll get ahead and do that. But otherwise, that's been the day today. Busy, productive. Very much thank you to my sister and Callum for coming over and lending a hand and being sociable. Thank you for Theo for, I don't know, fertilising my garden. It's very much appreciated. But yeah, tomorrow will probably be a slightly quieter one, but we're looking forward to it anyway. So I'll catch you all in tomorrow's video.